They'll never understand what it takes. They'll never feel the burn that lives behind the eyes of someone obsessed with becoming great. Most people stop when it hurts. I started when it hurt. Pain was never a signal to quit. It was a signal that I was alive, that I was moving towards something real. Every drop of sweat, every lonely hour in that dark gym, every missed party, every early morning when the world was still asleep. Those were my moments. The world only sees the lights, the noise, the celebration, but greatness is born in silence. It's forged when no one's clapping. That's when the real work happens. When I said work like hell, I wasn't talking about working just harder than others. I meant working so much, so relentlessly that the line between pain and passion disappears. It's not about liking it. It's about needing it. I needed to outwork everyone. I needed to know that if the game was on the line, I'd already earned the right to win, because work isn't just practice. It's preparation for war. The hours in the gym were the proof of my hunger. I wasn't chasing records. I was chasing the best version of myself, and that version demanded sacrifice. Most people think success is about talent, but talent is only the invitation. Work is the entry fee. When you wake up before the sun, when you run until your legs give up, when you push through the exhaustion until you can't breathe, that's when you're building something no one can take from you. The world is full of people who want the prize, but not the pain. The Mamba way doesn't work like that. You can't cheat the grind. You can't fake obsession. The truth always shows itself in the results, in the way you walk, the way you play, the way you live. There were nights when I questioned everything, when my body screamed to stop, when the noise in my head told me I'd done enough. But that's the thing. Enough doesn't exist when you're chasing greatness. Enough is for the average, and average was never an option. My dream wasn't to be good. It was to be legendary. And legends are made when you go past your limit, break it, and redefine it. Every rep, every shot, every failure was a step toward becoming something greater than talent, greater than potential. See, when you work like hell, you stop waiting for motivation. Motivation fades. Discipline doesn't. Discipline is waking up when your body says no. Discipline is showing up when the world isn't watching. Discipline is the quiet agreement you make with yourself that you will not stop no matter what. That's what separates the great from the good, the ability to keep going when the feeling is gone. Anyone can work when they're inspired. Few can work when they're broken. When I was a kid, I used to imagine games before I played them. I'd played them in my mind 1,000 times. I'd see the crowd, the pressure, the clock winding down, and I'd make the shot over and over. So when the real moment came, it wasn't new. I had already lived it. That's what preparation does. It creates calm inside chaos. It gives you confidence when everything else is falling apart. You can't fake that kind of readiness. It comes only from hours of unseen effort. I remember walking into empty gyms, lights off, floor still cold, the sound of the ball echoing through the silence. That was my favorite sound. That echo was my conversation with greatness. Every bounce said, "You're getting closer." I didn't need an audience. I needed purpose. That's what work like hell means. Doing the work even when no one will ever know you did. Because the reward isn't applause, it's evolution. People talk about passion like it's this beautiful glowing thing. But passion, real passion, burns. It consumes you. It hurts. It isolates you. You lose people along the way because not everyone can handle your fire. Some will call you obsessed, crazy, too intense, but they don't see the vision in your mind. They don't feel the hunger that keeps you up at night. Let them doubt. Let them talk. Their disbelief is fuel. When they rest, you rise. When they quit, you continue. When they sleep, you grind. That's the Mamba way. There were mornings when I'd wake up sore, body bruised, but I'd still go because I knew someone out there was working too, and I refused to be outworked. That's not arrogance. That's commitment. If you love something, you owe it your full effort. Half work brings half results. The game doesn't reward wishful thinking. It rewards preparation. You can't control the outcome, but you can control your effort. And if your effort is relentless, your time will come. People love to say they want success, but they forget success comes with a price. It demands isolation. It demands failure. It demands pain. You can't have greatness without scars. Every champion bleeds before they shine. Every legend falls before they rise. The difference is they don't stay down. The Mamba mindset is about transforming pain into power, fear into fuel, doubt into determination. It's about understanding that the struggle isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. When I walked on the court, it wasn't about proving something to others. It was about proving something to myself. Every shot, every sprint, every drop of sweat was a reminder of how bad I wanted it. The world could doubt me, but I refused to doubt myself. Because once you let self-doubt in, it eats you alive. Belief is your shield. Work is your weapon. Together, they make you unstoppable. And here's the truth. No one's come and save you. No coach, no friend, no luck. It's on you. You either rise or you don't. You either show up or you vanish. That's the brutal beauty of it. The grind exposes who you are when the lights are off. If you're willing to suffer, to sacrifice, to keep pushing, even when you can't see results yet, then you're already on the right path. Because greatness doesn't come in flashes. It comes in consistency. Every day you work like hell, you chip away at the old you. You destroy laziness, fear, hesitation. You replace them with hunger, focus, and resilience. One day you'll look back and realize that the pain was worth it, that every lonely hour was building something extraordinary. And that's when you'll understand the Mamba way isn't about basketball. It's about life. It's about refusing to be ordinary. It's about earning your greatness every single day with every single choice. So when you wake up tomorrow, remember this, nobody owes you anything. The dream is yours. The work is yours. The pain is yours. So is the reward. If you want to be great, don't talk about it. Be about it. Get up, lock in, and work like hell. Because greatness isn't given. It's taken, earned, and defended through every ounce of effort you have. That's the price. That's the Mamba way. The deeper you go into the grind, the quieter the world becomes. You start to lose the noise, the distractions, the unnecessary conversations. What remains is you, raw, real, and exposed. That's when the truth hits. Greatness demands isolation. You can't climb mountains while carrying the weight of everyone's expectations. You can't hear your own inner voice when the world is shouting what it thinks you should be. I learned early that solitude is the birthplace of strength. In those silent hours, you come face to face with your own limits, and that's exactly where you break them. When I worked, I didn't need company. I didn't need someone to motivate me. I didn't need a camera. I needed the pain. The grind became my oxygen. It was brutal, repetitive, exhausting, but it was real. There's a strange peace in that kind of suffering. You start to crave it because you realize every drop of sweat is a receipt for your future success. The gym became my sanctuary. It was where I bled, where I failed, where I rebuilt myself again and again. People think obsession is unhealthy, but when your vision is clear, obsession becomes clarity. Every shot I took was a conversation with my destiny. Every mistake whispered, not yet, but soon. You can't fake hunger. You can't fake passion. Things are revealed in the dark, not under the spotlight. Anyone can play hard when the crowd is roaring. But what about 4 a.m. when it's just you and your doubts? That's when your heart gets tested. That's when the Mamba inside you is either born or broken. And if you push through that moment, if you refuse to surrender, you'll discover something few ever do. The power that comes from discipline. True discipline is doing what you said you would do, long after the excitement has died. Grinding when it's boring, when it's painful, when no one will ever thank you for it. Every great player, every great artist, every great human being lives in that zone of discomfort. That's where evolution happens, when you're tired and you go one more round. When you fail and still choose to believe, when you fall and rise again. That repetition carves your soul into something unbreakable. People want the shortcut, but shortcuts build weak foundations. I didn't want to be temporary. I wanted to last. That's why I fell in love with the process. The process doesn't lie. It rewards honesty. You can't hide from it. You can't trick it. You either put in the work or you don't. I remember after losses, I'd sit in silence, analyzing every mistake. I'd replay the game in my mind, every missed shot, every wrong decision. Not to hate myself, but to learn. That's the part people don't understand. Failure is not final, it's feedback. If you use it right, it becomes your most powerful weapon. Pain doesn't destroy you, it refines you. Loss carved me sharper. Every doubt made me hungrier. The Mamba mindset isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. You might get knocked down, but you never stay there. When I tore my Achilles, people said it was over, but I knew this was another test. I refused to let it define me. I walked to that free throw line because I wanted the world to see that my will was stronger than my body. That moment wasn't about points. It was about principle. It was about saying, you can break my body, but you can't break my spirit. That's what it means to work like hell. It means even when the game betrays you, you keep fighting. Even when your body screams enough, your heart whispers, just one more. Ibra, see, the grind is not glamorous. It's dirty, painful. You'll be misunderstood. People will say you're too much. They'll call you selfish, obsessed, insane. Let them. Greatness has always been misunderstood. The ones who change the world are rarely understood while they're doing it. The truth is, the journey will cost you friends, sleep, comfort, but in return, it gives you purpose, focus, and legacy. The people who once doubted you will one day study how you did it. There's a moment in every pursuit when you realize it's not about beating others, it's about beating your own excuses. The biggest opponent you'll ever face isn't across the court, it's in your mind, that voice that says rest, that whispers it's enough, that tries to make you normal. The Mamba way silences that voice through action. When the mind doubts, the body works. When the body aches, the heart drives. You don't think, you just do. Because when your habits are stronger than your emotions, you become unstoppable. Every day is a test. The alarm rings. Do you hit snooze or rise? The gym calls. Do you show up or make excuses? These small decisions define everything. Success isn't a single moment. It's a collection of choices stacked day after day. You either build momentum or regret. The beauty of the grind is that it's fair. It doesn't care who you are, where you're from, or what you've done before. The work always tells the truth. Sometimes I look around and realize how many people wanted the crown but not the scars. They loved the highlight reels but skipped the heartbreak. They wanted greatness without grief. But that's not how life works. You can't become strong without pressure. You can't become wise without pain. You can't become great without sacrifice. The grind strips you of weakness until only the real you remains. The Mamba way teaches you to embrace that pain, to let it build you instead of break you. There were nights I'd stare at the ceiling, thinking about how far I still had to go. The road seemed endless, but I knew deep down that each step mattered. Every day I gave my best, I was becoming the person I'd always dreamed of being. That's what people miss. The grind isn't just about reaching goals. It's about transforming yourself into someone capable of achieving them. The journey changes you. You start to crave the hard days because they sharpen you. You stop chasing easy wins because you know the hardest battles give you the greatest strength. When you work like hell, your purpose becomes your protection. You don't get distracted by noise or negativity. You learn to live with tunnel vision, focused, disciplined, relentless. You start to see the beauty in struggle, the poetry in persistence. The pain that once scared you becomes the rhythm of your progress. Every bruise, every failure, every lonely night adds to your story. That story becomes your armor. No one can take it away because you earned it with everything you had. Greatness isn't about the trophy. It's about who you become while chasing it. When the lights fade, what remains is your legacy, the lessons, the discipline, the standard you set. The Mamba way isn't just about basketball. It's about living with purpose, about refusing mediocrity in every area of life. It's about waking up every day and asking, did I give everything I had? If the answer is yes, then you've already won. So keep pushing, keep grinding. When the world doubts you, let your work scream for you. When you're tired, remember why you started. When you fall, rise again, stronger, sharper, hungrier. Because one day someone will look at your story and realize what the phrase work like hell truly means. Not just effort, but evolution. Not just sweat, but soul. That's the path to greatness. That's the Mamba way. The journey doesn't end when you win. It doesn't end when the world calls you great. Because greatness isn't a destination. It's a responsibility. When you've worked like hell to climb the mountain and you realize the real challenge isn't reaching the top, it's staying there. The air gets thinner, the expectations heavier, and the loneliness deeper. People think the victory is the reward, but the truth is, it's just another test. When the applause fades, when the cameras turn away, when the world moves on, what will keep you going? That's when your purpose steps in. The Mamba way isn't about chasing validation. It's about chasing mastery. And mastery has no finish line. I used to think success was about numbers, points, wins, rings. But over time, I learned that the real game is internal. You can conquer the world and still lose yourself if your purpose isn't rooted in growth. I didn't want to just win. I wanted to evolve. I wanted to leave behind something that would outlive me. That's what work like hell means at the highest level. It's not just about proving others wrong. It's about proving that you can become the best version of yourself again and again, no matter how many times life resets the clock. After every championship, I didn't celebrate for long because the question always echoed in my mind, what's next? The hunger didn't disappear. It transformed. The Mamba way isn't satisfied by trophies. It's fueled by curiosity. There's always another level, another layer, another challenge waiting to be conquered. When you live like that, you stop comparing yourself to others. Your competition becomes the reflection in the mirror. Every day, you battle the person you were yesterday. And that fight never ends. Legacy isn't built on moments. It's built on consistency. It's in the way you treat people, the standard you set, the effort you bring, even when no one's looking. I wanted my legacy to be more than stats. I wanted people to feel what work ethic looks like, to see that greatness isn't magic, it's math. You put in the hours, you face your fears, you stay disciplined, and the results follow. That's the formula. There's no secret. The secret is that there's no secret. It's just work, repeated endlessly, refined endlessly. The older I got, the more I realized that the grind doesn't just build skill, it builds character. The same mindset that drove me on the court started guiding my life off it. I wanted to inspire others, to show kids that discipline, obsession, and focus aren't punishments, they're superpowers. You can build a life out of pure willpower. You can change the world by changing your habits. You don't need permission to chase something extraordinary. You just need the courage to begin and the endurance to never stop. That's what I told young players, young dreamers, anyone willing to listen. Don't do it for fame. Do it for growth. Because fame fades, applause stops, but growth keeps you alive. When you live with purpose, the grind becomes joy. The hard days become sacred. You stop running from failure because you understand it's part of your foundation. You stop fearing challenges because you know every challenge is a doorway to evolution. That's how you turn pain into power, by embracing it instead of escaping it. There's a saying, leave the game better than you found it. For me, that meant giving back, teaching, inspiring. When I retired, the mission didn't end, it shifted. I started helping the next generation build their own Mamba mentality. I wanted them to know that the same mindset that built championships can build companies, families, and dreams. Because this isn't about basketball. It's about life. It's about excellence, no matter what field you're in. Whether you're an artist, a student, a leader, or a worker. If you bring focus, consistency, and hunger to your craft, you're living the Mamba way. But let's be honest, greatness comes with a cost. It demands more from you than you think you have. It takes your time, your comfort, sometimes your peace. But if you give it everything, it gives you something back, clarity. You start seeing the world differently. You stop chasing shortcuts. You understand that fulfillment doesn't come from what you get. It comes from who you become. The grind becomes a mirror. It reflects your truth. It exposes your flaws, but it also reveals your potential. When I look back now, I realize that work like hell wasn't just about basketball. It was about identity. It was my way of saying, I will not waste this gift. I will not take this life for granted. Every drop of sweat, every drop of blood, every ounce of effort was a thank you to life itself. because not everyone gets the chance to chase something they love. And if you do, you owe it your all. That's why I never half-stepped, never coasted, never played for show. I played for legacy. And legacy isn't about how loud your name echoes. It's about how deeply your impact reaches. The Mamba way was never meant to end with me. It was meant to ignite others. That's the true meaning of greatness, not to stand above others, but to lift others up through your example. When people see your work, they should feel something inside them awaken, the urge to push harder, to be better, to demand more of themselves. That's immortality. That's how you live forever, through the lives you touch, through the standards you set. The grind doesn't care if you're tired, scared, or broken. It only asks one question. Are you willing to keep going? And if your answer is yes, then congratulations. You've already joined the rare few who understand what greatness really is. It's not glamorous. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every bruise on your body and soul, it all means something. Because when the world looks at you, they'll see the shine, but you'll know the story. You'll know what it cost. And you'll smile because you paid in full. The Mamba way isn't about being perfect. It's about refusing to quit. It's about believing in yourself so fiercely that the world starts believing too. It's about waking up every day and choosing excellence over comfort. When you work like hell, you learn that the journey itself is the reward. Sweat, the pain, the failures, they're not setbacks. They're the path. Every single second you give to your dream writes a line in your legacy. So when your body aches, when your mind tells you to stop, when the world doubts your potential, remember this, you are built for this. The pain means you're growing. The struggle means you're on the right track. Keep pushing, keep grinding, keep working like hell. Because somewhere in that pain lies your purpose. Somewhere in that discipline lies your destiny. And when you reach the top, you'll realize it was never about the destination. It was about who you became along the way. That's greatness. That's legacy. That's the Mamba way.